Our country needs to be energy independent. And in fact, our allies need to be energy independent. And we have to decarbonize at the same time. And so how can we do that? Well, it turns out that solar and wind power are now by far the cheapest forms of new energy. And that's why in the last 4 years, 90% of new installed power generation has been solar and wind. And it's one of these amazing things that we never expected to happen in our lifetimes. But we have to build an interconnected continent so that when it's windy on one side or sunny on another, we can send power back and forth without having to store the energy waiting for the sun to come back out or waiting for the wind to pick back up. That is the basis of our economy in the coming generations. We can do that for no cost to the taxpayer. How's that? Basically, the federal government has to get the right-of-ways for these conductors. The entire investment for the interconnected electrical system is $150 billion a year. The shocking thing is that it will save this country, ratepayers, electrical ratepayers, $300 billion a year. It pays for itself in 6 months. And we have the example here in the Northwest. We have the DC power connection between Washington, Oregon, and California. This was developed in the 1970s. It cost $700 million to build. It saves the ratepayers in the Northwest $3 billion a year. If you look in Los Angeles at the electric power prices by hour, you will find that between about noon and 5 o'clock every day in Los Angeles, the price of power is negative. That's because they have nowhere to send it. Meanwhile, people in New York City are spending $2 just to cook dinner. That's where those $300 billion come in. We give a little bit of money to the guys in LA so they can put more solar panels out in the desert. And we cut the rates in New York by half. That's an efficient economy. That's a secure economy where we are not at the beck and call of Russia, Venezuela, Saudi Arabia. Let's do this. We know how to do it, and it won't cost taxpayers a dime. Let's get this done, and that's what I want to do when I go to Washington, D.C.